Questions now from the party spokespeople. Welsh Conservative spokesperson, first of all, James Evans, to be answered by the Minister for Mental Health and Wellbeing.
Diolch, Llywyd. Minister, the theme of my question today, I want to talk about fertility treatment across Wales. And Minister, it has come to my attention that the eligibility criteria for NHS-funded fertility treatments in Wales vary significantly across different health boards, leading to a postcode lottery for those couples out there who are seeking fertility treatment. So, Minister, can you provide a comprehensive explanation for the inconsistencies and outline what steps the government is taking to standardise the eligibility criteria to make sure that all people across Wales can get equitable access of care?
Thank you very much, James Evans, for raising this topic today. I think it's really important that we do talk about it. There's many people out there who are struggling with this. We know in Wales that 1 in 6 couples will struggle with infertility. We know that around 30% that will be down to issues with sperm. So I think that it is really important that we ensure that we are talking about this. It's something that's very meaningful to a lot of people. What I would say, though, in terms of the regulations, is the Human Fertilisation and Embryology Authority that regulates. They regulate the NHS and the public and the private sector on this. They are the ones then who will set out what treatments and procedures are available. And on top of that, they also set out then the 4 key areas, which is that NHS funding for fertility treatment varies depending on where you live. You'll need to meet certain criteria to be eligible. You may not be able to choose your clinic if you're NHS funded, and there are big differences in private treatment costs, so shop around. So that's the general advice that we have from the HFEA, and that is then what the JCC in Wales, the Joint Commissioning Committee in Wales, uses to set out the provision that we have across Wales.
Thank you for your answer, Minister. You did say there about the number of treatment options available, and there are notable differences among the fertility treatments offered across those different health boards across Wales, and patients often lack the autonomy to often choose their preferred treatment centre they'd like to go to, especially those people who want that treatment outside the designated health board. So ICSI, for example, isn't offered in all fertility treatments across Wales, but you said for those people with low sperm counts, that is the only way in which they can actually access fertility treatments, but some centres don't do that. So I'd just like to know from you, what policies are being considered by the Welsh Government to harmonise the treatments offered to people across Wales? And do you think it's time that we give people actually the autonomy to choose where they can go to access their treatment? Because sometimes people can access that treatment in that health board, to be told it's not available here, to have to go through the whole process again with another health area and another part of the country, which sometimes puts a lot of pressure on partners who are trying to get this vital treatment done.
Yeah, thank you so much, James Evans, for that follow-up question. So, as you are probably aware, everything that we cover in Wales and the policy that we have is set out in the Specialised Services Commissioning Policy, the Specialist Fertility Services. So everything that you've asked about, it's 29 pages, everything that you've asked about is in here. It's very thorough and it does set a certain criteria. I think it's really important to emphasise, though, that this is a specialist service. It's not something that is seen as something that is provided across every health board. At the moment, as you said, we have the 2 clinics. One is in Cardiff and one is in Swansea. If you want to go through to that service to check your sperm count, etc., then you can actually go online. There are 4 options for being able to book to be able to do that. So I understand completely that there will be people out there where this is not ideal. I do. And this is something that I think it is worth raising with the Cabinet Secretary for Health and Social Care. This is his part of his portfolio in terms of what we are and what we can do going forward. But it would have to go down the specialist service route.
One area that often does get overlooked in fertility treatments is male infertility issues. You know, despite significant studies that indicate that male factors actually contribute to 30 to 50% of infertility cases in Wales, there does seem a lack of specific initiatives addressing male fertility within Wales. And one thing I'd like to touch within your portfolio, what we tend to find is that when males are diagnosed with infertility problems, they're often left in the dark with no support offered to them because most of the fertility treatments are focused towards the woman. But actually a lot of those men are left feeling frustrated, they feel shame, they feel anger, because as I said, they don't feel like they get the mental support needed to get them through that time in their life. So I'd like to know, perhaps as a Minister for Mental Health, what support can your department offer to those men who are suffering infertility issues? Because, as I said, this is an area that is overlooked massively by the health sector. And I think, as a Senedd and as the health bodies, they need to do more to support men who are having issues. Because, I said, they do make up over half the cases, and they tend to be the ones forgotten about within the treatment journey.
Absolutely, thank you. And again, I think that the fact that we're talking about today and raising this is always a huge step, and we've seen this across other parts of my portfolio in mental health as well. I would say that the Wales Fertility Institute website is wonderful in terms of setting out exactly what the process is, and also they do then have an option of being able to speak to a counsellor, and you can also ring up on the telephone line. As I said, you can book online as well. So there absolutely shouldn't be any shame or stigma around this. It's not as uncommon as maybe people think. I'd also just like to say as well, though, that we're always encouraging people to talk, and this is something that people should talk about. And I think that we have lots of pathways now for male mental health in particular, and they would certainly fall under that, under mental health. But thank you for raising this today, because this is something that I can go away with now as well and discuss with the Cabinet Secretary for Health and Social Care, because you do raise something that I'm not sure has ever really been raised in the Chamber, or certainly not since I've been elected. And it really is much more common than people realise, and it really does play a part in many things like people's identity and the shame and feeling. And actually, in Wales, I would say that we have a pretty good offer when it comes to fertility support and when it comes to being able to access IVF and things. So I would hope that this kind of starts that journey, but it'd be great to have a further conversation with you about this as well, James. Thank you very much.